Jacob Grieber from the Australian Financial Review.
Jacob Grieber from the Australian Financial Review. Minister, I think I listened carefully enough to your speech when you talked about the EPA. You didn't use the word independent when you described the EPA. That is in Labor's policy document before the election that you revealed to us sort of 24 hours before polls opened. Has that changed? Is independent no longer an important word? And related to that, you talked about balancing jobs.
Part two of my question, yes. Go
Very
on.
much part of the same thing. Jobs versus the environment. You said it shouldn't be a binary thing. That should be managed, and both of those things should be taken into account. To me, that strikes me as a very political task, managing that distinction between getting projects approved, making sure the laws, the environmental laws, are properly respected, and there's a consequence for people who break those laws. So when you say you want those two things to be managed, how would you do it if it's to be truly independent?
Well, yes, we do support an independent EPA, but the design of that, well, there's a lot of consultation to be done before I come back to you with a final design. The specific roles that the EPA will have, and the way it's constituted. I'll talk to you again in a few months about that. I'll release an exposure draft. People will be able to comment, and there'll be a lot of opportunities for people to make their views known on the form and roles that an appropriately independent environmental protection agency will...
The report's been out 2 years now, you said so yourself. Labor's been in opposition for 9 years.
Yeah, I've been the minister for 6 weeks.
It's your government, it's your policy.
Yes, and I've been the minister for 6 weeks, thanks. On the other issue, I have to really disagree with that. You're saying that it's a political job to balance jobs versus environment, and I think that's the problem we've had. I actually think the job of government is to set up laws and institutions that work to meet the objectives that we make public. So we will make public our objectives. What are they? Protect these particularly sensitive areas, make sure that we don't have unnecessary duplication in assessing projects. There'll be a range of objectives that we will make public, and then we will consult on the mechanisms for meeting those objectives, the sort of legal changes we need to make, the sort of institutions we need to enforce any changes we make, the resourcing required to do it. I'd actually really like to take the politics out of this decision-making. Instead of having people like Matt Canavan running around the country saying, I've never seen a coal mine that I don't want to make bigger, perhaps we need to thoughtfully assess using the laws and processes we have in a transparent way, in a way that gives the public confidence that our legal system's working appropriately. Maybe we could assess projects that way instead.